So here's the thing. You tell yourself that you're finally gonna study and get work done and become the next academic weapon, but instead you spend 3 hours scrolling on Instagram reels, watching cat videos, and other people doing other things in their life, or just sitting and laying there on the bed. Um, yeah, we've all been there, haven't we? This is where time blocking could be a good solution. It helps you because it reduces friction resistance, so your brain knows what to do and when. However, I also know how it feels to be like, constricted and just feeling really overwhelmed by your schedule. So let's break down how blocking actually works and to make it not feel like you're scheduling every single breath of your day. So time blocking is basically giving every chunk of your day a job. So for example, instead of saying like today I'm going to finish chapter 1 to 5, for example, I don't know, very ambitious, but oh well, you could basically say instead like from 10 to let's say 12, I am going to study the lectures from, I don't know, for example, Obigai, and then from 12 to 1 having lunch, and then from 1 to 2:30 I'm going to, for example, review my Anki cards. So your calendar is simply like a map. So if you have lots of empty and blank spaces, you wouldn't know what to do and you'll wander off, right? But if everything is mapped out, you'll know exactly what you're supposed to do. Also, another tip, if you feel like so burnt out and like you don't want to do anything, been there, done that. One way you can do it is you have like an empty calendar, right? Like Google Calendar, whatever, or newspaper. It's empty. You just start to block one thing first. Like for example, today the only thing I have to do, for example, 10 to 12, study. I don't know, whatever. That's the only thing you have to do one day, and you'll do it. And then the next day you can book something else. Like for example, it doesn't only have to be studying. You can also to achieve that work-life balance, so that they call it. For example, you should do exercise. So 10 to 12. For example, study this thing. 12 to 1 is exercise. You've done that, beautiful. Then you add more and more until you actually can have a full schedule. And you already know that you have followed it before, so it builds confidence and momentum, and then you can just continue on that schedule. And I know when you say, oh, I'm just putting one thing, you'll panic and be like, no, I have to study the whole, I don't know, medical curriculum in like one day. I know. Trust me, I understand. But if you think about it, it's kind of more productive in the long term when you actually schedule your time like that. So just give it a go and see how it goes. Step 1, pick your tool. So what are you going to use as your calendar? You can use Google Calendar, you can use Notion, you can use planners, journals, whatever floats your boat, as long as it's something that you actually like and you know that you can rely on and it's always there with you, and you can be consistent with it. So second thing is that's really important is for you to know how to estimate things realistically. And I know I said realistically, but I personally prefer if you overestimate the time it takes, especially in the beginning. So let's say you've been in like an unproductive rut, or you just want to start to get serious with studying, especially if exams are coming up. So what you need to do is like that. You need to make sure that, for example, let's say you think a task takes 1 hour, make it 2 hours. And then see how it goes. And then based on that, you can rearrange after you actually study more and get into, the habit of things. Because the last thing you want to do is underestimate, and you have this whole like schedule. You'll be so stressed. and just unproductive, and you'll just throw the whole thing away, right? So we don't really want that. Fourth thing is to block in life as well. I mean, this is really important, especially since like also it gives you something to look forward to and to know what to do. So if you only have like you're studying and then you don't have anything else, like the gaps are empty. Again, it's like a map. It's empty. Where do you go? You wander off. So for example, you then block in meal times. You block in times where you want to exercise. Or if you have an extracurricular or any other commitment, you try to block it in. Actually, what I suggest is when you start blocking in that first, and then start with the studying in. Especially, again, I repeat, if you were in a rut and you want to get out of it. Because these things are the basics. When you have it, then you can build up on it. Then you can do the whole studying and hard work. But if you don't actually take care of yourself and do the basics, like eating at regular times, moving your body and all that, then I'm not sure how studying would happen if you haven't taken care of yourself. What I'm saying is, a bit cliche, but genuinely cannot pour from an empty cup, right? So try to do that first. All that being said, there are common mistakes that one can fall into, at least I have, and I've learned how to manage it. Number one is treating every block like it's a prison cell. Because again, that would stress you out. So one thing you can do is to simply have a day where you don't put anything, no commitments, and no studying, nothing. So that for me personally is Saturday. So Sunday is like where I live is the first working day. But for you, that could be a Sunday or whatever day you prefer. So that in case, like let's say you're unable to complete the task of one day or whatever, something happens, you already have a backup that you can shift on that day. And a bonus is that if you have done everything for that week, you have that day as a day off, which is, who doesn't like a day off, right? So in conclusion, time blocking is not magic. It's just a tool to help you navigate things and make things easier for you, because studying is tough. Having to go to placement and managing other things in life is not easy. So this could be helpful. I hope you enjoyed this video and you found it beneficial. And just one last thing is that if your block is telling you stop studying and go eat or go nap, listen to it and don't overwork yourself. Take care, and I wish you all the best. See you in my next video. If you liked it, of course, this is so cringy, but I guess like and subscribe to see more content like this. And yeah, bye.